video we're going to talk about the question, multiple choice question that has been tested in the 2020 A-level paper. We have already done the first 10 questions, right? If you watch our first video, we have done the first 10 questions in the MCQ paper, paper number 1. And now from this video, we're going to talk about the question number 11 to question number 20, right? There will be another 10 questions on the same paper. We are going to discuss those 10 questions from this particular video. If you haven't watched the first video, please watch it and refresh your knowledge on the first 10 questions. And this video talks about the question from 2020 paper, question 11 to question 20, right? Okay. If you move into the question, Puta, if you move into the question, you can see we're going to do question number 11 to question number 20 from this video. If you haven't done the paper, please do the paper and then you watch the video. Otherwise, no point of watching the video without doing the question. Watch this video to correct your errors, correct your mistakes, right? Madhu commenced a business on 1st April 2020 to manufacture face mask. Okay. It's just started business again, right? It is a just started business where you don't find any opening balances. It is expected to manufacture 12,000 face masks during the year. You are expected to produce 12,000 face masks during a year. And budgeted manufacturing overheads, they have given 360,000. They budgeted their overheads will be 360,000 annually. The following actual costs were given for the month of April 2020. They have given the actual cost. Fabric cost per unit 60 and the direct processing cost 20. Manufacturing overheads 30,000. Manufacturing overheads 30,000. That is for a month, right? So they are within the budget. No, you can see they have expected to incur 360,000 as annual cost. However, their manufacturing overheads per month it's 30,000. So annually it will be apparently 360,000. Non-manufacturing cost rupees 20,000, right? Those are the information they have given. Further, they say during the year during the month of April, 1,000 units were manufactured. Okay, they manufactured 1,000 units, and 800 of that was sold at 150. Okay, 800. The profit for the month of April and the cost of the finished goods as at 30th April 2020. April 30th month. The cost of the finished goods they have given, right? They have given you the few answers. Those are the given 5 answers. What is the correct answer? Those are the options, right? Okay. So if you move into the calculations, you can see here in the question number 12, we have taken the sales. How did you get these sales? You sold. The question very clearly says you sold 800 units. You sold 800 units at 150 each. How do you get 800 into 150? You sold only 800, it's 120,000. That's how you got that 120,000. Then the question again, you produce 10,000 units during the year, not 10,000, 1,000 units you have produced. 1,000 units produce karanna, right? Eka unit ekaka fabric cost එක ඔයාට යනවා කොච්චරද? How much the fabric cost that you incur? 60. And 1,000 into 60, that is how much? 60,000 fabric cost. Processing fee එක මෙයා යනවා කියලා කියනවා. කීයක්ද? 20 per unit, and you are producing 1,000, it will be 20,000. And then manufacturing overheads, actual manufacturing overheads in the manufacturing account that you can include, they have given 30,000. Altogether, total cost of production become how much? 110,000. May business opening balance is there because this is a just started business. But during the how many units you produce? This 110,000 you have incurred. This 110,000 you have incurred for how many units? This 110,000 they have incurred for 1,000 units. Keep in mind, right? This 110,000 you divide by 1,000. You get the per unit cost. You can take a unit එකක් මේ අවුරුද්දේ අපි manufacturing cost එක කියලා 110,000 එක කරා. We have produced 110,000 as a total cost of manufacturing. That is for 1,000 units. එහෙනම් පුතා per unit cost is 110,000, 110 rupees. they want you to calculate the closing stock first, right? Closing finished stock. Closing stock. Mata kiyanna, tell me, you had no finished goods. No? At the beginning, you had no finished goods. During the you produced 10,000. May avurudde 10,000 produce kara. Okay, it's fine. 10,000 produce. 1,000 units you produce, not 10,000. 1,000 units you produce. Out of that 1,000, 800 units you sold. Ehna, how many units are remaining? 200 units are remaining. May avurudde tamai business ka patan gatte. Patan ganedi you had no opening balances. You had no opening balances. Neither out of the patan ganedi opening balance ekak tibbe naha. You had no opening balance. හැබැයි මේ අවුරුද්ද produce කරා 1000 units එකෙන් 800 units ආ sell කරා එහෙනම් පුතා 200 units remaining ඒක remain වෙන්නේ මේ අවුරුද්ද produce කරපු එකෙන් එහෙනම් 2 මේ අවුරුද්ද එකක් unit එකක් produce කරාට 110 you consume එහෙනම් your closing stock is 22000 පුතා your closing stock balance is 22000 your closing stock value is how much? Rupees 22000 Arneda, yes, that you have recorded as 22,000 එහෙනම් out of 110 you incurred here. Out of 110, 22,000 has not been sold. So that when you reduce it, right, cost of production selling, cost of productions, 110, again 22 has not been used. Your cost of sales will be 88,000, right? And your gross profit sales minus cost of sales equal to the gross profit, that is 32,000. Non-production overheads available in the question, non-production overheads available in the question 20,000, right? If you go to the question, you can see there was a non-production overheads 20,000, so that also you need to deduct. And the net profit will be how much? Net profit will be how much? That is rupees 12,000. Net profit of the business rupees 12,000. Net profit of the business rupees 12,000. Was it clear now? Understood? Our net profit is rupees 12,000. Right. Okay. They want you to calculate net profit and the closing stock. Right. So then, yeah, you can see the fourth one is the correct answer. Profit for the period 12,000 and the cost of the inventory 22,000. So that the correct answer will be the fourth one. Right. So that they have given the information relating to the production or the manufacturing of goods. They want you to calculate the sales. Preparations of financial statement of a manufacturing firm, right? Syllabus make a syllabus manufacturing accounts. So then syllabus topic name preparations of financial statement for a manufacturing firm. You should know the each and every effect, right? Especially the income statement. In the balance sheet, you don't find lots of differences. No? But when it comes to the income statement, there are lots of differences. Therefore, try to understand the exact requirement of the examiner, right? They are not just asking you to prepare the manufacturing account. They identified always effect on the financial statements if it is a manufacturing firm, right? Okay. Having answered that question, we'll move into the next question. This is question number 11, and then we'll move to the question number 12. An entity reported a profit of 150,000 for the year ending 31st March 2020. However, in a subsequent investigation, following errors were revealed in the books of accounts. Right? You identify the profit of 150. Subsequent reveal identify the following errors. This is rectifications of error question. It said total sales 650 for the month of March 2020 has been recorded as 560 in the sales account and the debtors control account. There was an error in both sales account and the debtors control account. However, this doesn't affect the suspense account. Both the debit account entry and the credit entry, you recorded the 560. Therefore, no effect on the closing balance. Sorry, no effect on the trial balance. Right. What is the next question? Next one. The cash discount of 20 allowed to the trade debtors has been posted only in the debtors control account. This has not been recorded in the discount allowed account. Okay. What is next? Interest income of 25,000 received from a bank deposit has been credited to the interest expense account. However, this amount has been correctly recorded in the cash account. Make an income supposed to be credited. They have recognized as an expenditure. They have recognized this as an expenditure. After make impact 50,000. Next up, the depreciations on motor vehicle rupees 30,000 has not been accounted. Depreciation on motor vehicle has not been accounted. Okay, that also. What is the correct profit during their ending after correcting the above error? Right, they are giving you 5 options, though you want to find out the correct answer. 150,000 is the draft profit. Okay, we'll move into the calculations. If you move into the question, it says the total sales of 650, where the total sales of 650 you have recorded as 500 and 650 you recorded at 560. You know how much the difference between these two? It's rupees 90 because your sales is understated by 90. That means your sales understated by 90, as a result your gross profit understated by 90. If the gross profit understated, your net profit was understated by 90. Therefore, that 90,000 has to be added to the profit. Now, what pay no ne mulama question එක පටන් ගනිද්දී paper එක පටන් ගනිද්දී paper එක අමාරුයි වගේ තේරුණාට දැන් මැද හරියක් වෙනකොට ආයි paper එක පොඩක් මොනවාද මැද හරිය දෙන questions වලට ටික ලේසියෙන් කරගන්න පුළුවන් questions කීපයක්ත් තියෙනවා right ටික තේරුම් ගන්න ලේසියෙන් කරගන්න පුළුවන් question දැන් මේක එහෙම මම හිතන්නේ ලොකු අමාරුවක් තියෙන question එකක් very straightforward questions right look at the next one it says the cash discount of 20 to the trade receivable has been posted only in the debtors account. ඒ කියන්නේ පුතා මේක debtors control account එකට මොනවා කරලාද credit කරලා තියෙනවා. නමුත් අපි discount allowed account එකට debit කරලා නැහැ. And you have not recognized the expenditure that you need to now recognize discount allowed 20,000. Okay. Discount allowed you recognize 20,000. ඊළඟට කියනවා interest of 25,000 interest income 25,000 received from a bank deposits has been credited to the interest expense account. Has been credited to the interest expense account. So the interest income should be credited to the P&L. Saying interest income, have I made they have credited to the interest expense account. Even if you credited to the interest expense account, there's no any impact on the profit. Profit is an impact. I give a question, right? If you read this question very clearly, the interest income of 25 received from a bank deposit has been credited to the interest expense account. Make interest income was credited to what? Interest expense account. Ultimately, it has no impact. Anyhow, it was credited to the P&L. There's no any impact on the profit. There is no any impact on the profit. Keep it in your mind. Kisima impact profit make question again. Right. No entry is needed, no adjustment is needed to the profit because there's no any impact to the profit. It's supposed to be credited to the P&L and it was credited to the P&L under the different category, but still the answer is correct. Depreciations of motor vehicle 30 has not been accounted. Depreciation must be reduced from the profit that need to be deducted. That need to be deducted. You can see the total deduction is 50 after adjusting all the corrections. Correct profit business how much? Correct profit of the business rupees 190,000. Correct profit of the business rupees 190,000. Which one is the correct answer? Second one is the correct answer, right? You can see what item has been adjusted here. They have given the draft profit 150, right? Then the sales 90 has been understated, so you added that interest income expense has no impact on profit, but the discount allowed 20 has not been recognized, so it reduces the profit, and the depreciation 30 has not been recognized, that also reduces the profit. Then your correct profit is 190,000, right? Okay. Then after doing question number 12, shall we move into the question number 13? Question number 13, the information of a sports club for the year ending 31st March 2020 is as follows. Because they have given this question from the not-for-profit organizations, right? Subscription income recognized during the period 300,000, not the income that you received, right? You have to be very careful when reading the question. Usually, examiner gives out the subscription income received during the period, but here they have given the subscription income recognized for the period. Previous year subscription in arrears written off during the 50,000. We write off the subscription 50,000, which is a receivable from the previous year. Donation received to purchase equipment for 100,000, of which 100,000 used. The used amount only you can recognize as an income of the current year, not the total amount that you received as an income. The balance amount received during the year from hiring the playground 100,000 and advance of 150 was received on 30th March 2019 in respect of this. We have received a advance in the previous year, and this year you have received another 100,000. Order the total income to be received to total income relevant for the period. It's 250. 150 have received in the previous year. At that time, you would have recognized that as a liability. But when you provide the grounds, so then you can recognize that liability even as an income. Income either increases assets or decreases liability. So this is a situation where it decreases your liability. Right? Discount received decreases liability. When you provide the service and generate the income to for an against advance you receive, that is also what reduces your liability. Next, the policy of the club is to recognize the utilized amount of donation as an income. Okay, that is fine. That is very clear. The increase in the accumulated funds of the business as at 31st March 2020 due to the above item. They are asking the accumulated funds, increase in the accumulated funds. Okay, not the surplus or deficit. They wanted to calculate the accumulated funds of the business. Right? Shall we move into the calculation? Right. Question number 13, it says subscription income recognized during the period 300,000. The recognized amount they have directly given 300,000. So that is an income. When you recognize the income, obviously your surplus increases. As a result, your accumulated funds will increases. Therefore, subscription amount that you received, yes, obviously that increases your income, as well as it increases your accumulated fund as well. It increases your accumulated funds as well. Was it clear? Right. What is next? The previous year subscription in arrears written off during the year 50,000. That subscription amount written off, receivable written off during the year, obviously an expenditure. That expenditure reduces what? That expenditure reduces your profit or a surplus, right? And at the same time, it reduces your accumulated fund as well. And there was a donations received 500,000. But though you receive the donations of 100,000, the policy of the company is to recognize the income if it is utilized. So out of 500,000, you recognize the income only how much? 100,000. So that 100,000 will be your income that has also been recorded under the accumulated funds. So this donation balance 200, balance 400,000, you should not recognize as a part of the accumulated funds. It's not accumulated funds. It will be an accumulated funds only when you utilize it. That has to be recognized into the accumulated funds only through the income and expenditure account. Therefore, that 400, the balance amount of 400 is not a part of the accumulated funds. Out of the donations you received, only 100,000 you recognize as a surplus, so that amount only affected to the accumulated funds. Building, sorry, your playground you have given on rent, and you received 100,000 during the year, and there was another 150,000 advance received in the previous year, but that is connected to this year. The playground income is how much? That is rupees 250,000. From the playground, that income that you are expected to generate 250,000, it was a liability at that time. When that 150 was a liability when you received it as an advance, but later on when you provide the grounds, so that you recognize as an income. Provide the grounds, and you provide it as a when you provide the grounds, so that you recognize as an income. Your profit increased by how much? Rupees 600,000. Your profit increased by rupees 600,000. Was it clear? If the profit increased by 600,000, your accumulated fund also increased by rupees 600,000. Which one is the correct answer? Yes, fourth one is the correct answer. Fourth one is the correct answer. It is increased by 600,000. Right. Okay. That is the question number 30. We will move into the question number 14. So the question number 14 has been tested from the partnerships accounting. You can see which of the following statements are correct in relation to the partnerships. That's what they're asking. Which of the following statements are correct in relation to the partnerships? Partnerships should not follow the accounting standards when preparing the financial statement. That's the first one. Then salaries paid to the partners when they contribute to the management of the business as the partners are treated as an expense of the partnership. That's a B. In a written agreement, partners can agree the profit and losses based on their capital ratio. Okay. When there's no change in the ownership of the partnership, goodwill is estimated, right? They want you to identify the correct answer from the given information, right? First one, the partnership should not follow accounting standard when preparing the financial statements. Partnership should not follow if the partners decided to follow the accounting standard, you can follow the accounting standard and prepare the financial statements. That particular statement is not correct. They make a partnership should follow the accounting standards. Still the answer is wrong. Why? Because according to the Accounting and Auditing Standard Act, right, only the specified business enterprises prepare the financial statement using the accounting standards. Partnership, sole proprietorship, not-for-profit organization, even the private company, unquoted public companies, they are, and some of the quoted companies even, they are not responsible, their managers are not, directors are not responsible in following the financial statement, so following the accounting standard and preparing the financial statement. There's no any hard and fast rule. They can apply the financial statements. The audit opinion financial statement through the fair. Users have some idea whether they have followed the accounting standards or not, but there's no any hard and fast rule that these companies or these businesses should prepare the financial statement. Partnership should follow the accounting standard and prepare the financial statement. No, answer is still wrong. Why? Only the specified business enterprises should prepare their financial statement. When they are preparing the financial statement. They should apply the accounting standard when prepare the financial statement. Therefore, anyway, A is wrong. Second one, salary paid to the managers when they contribute to the management of the partnership. For the what are the three main things that a partner contribute to the partnership? They provide the capital. For that, we are paying the interest. They participate for the management function. For that, we are paying the salary. And they bear the risk. For that, we give the profit. So, make a salary paid to the partners when they are contributing to the management of the business as a partner are treated as an expense. No, it's not an expense. It's a way of distributing the profit. Salary paid to the partner for participating in the management function. For participating in the management function is not what? Not an expense. Direct payments, it's an appropriation. It's a way of appropriating the profit. It's not an expense. Therefore, B is not a correct answer. Right? Expense. If a partner work as an auditor, if a partner work as a production manager, then in that case, if partner work as an accountant, so in that case, you can consider that as what? Expense, but it's not, right? Partner with participate in functions. So, introductions of capital, management, and the profit share. So, the risk. Payments for the capital, we pay the interest. For the risk, we give the profit. For the management functions, we are giving the salaries. So, may payments to the expense partnership. It's a way of distributing. So, that will be recorded in the appropriation account. Right. See, in a written agreement, partners can agree to share the profit and losses based on their capital ratio. If you agree, right? If you are having if the all partners are agreed to each other, so then you can have any ratio, doesn't matter. Right? But if you are following the section 24 of the partnership ordinance of 1890, in that case, you have to share the profit and losses equally. Right? In a written agreement, in a verbal agreement, still yes. Right? Irrespective of the nature of the agreement, you can agree anyway, right? So then according to the discussions of the management. Next one, D. When there's a change in the ownership of the partnership, goodwill is estimated. Yes. When there's a change in the ownership, ownership change with the goodwill adjust right? One other ownership change with the syllabus according to your syllabus on the admissions of a partner, on the retirement of a partner, on when sharing the profit and losses ratio. On those situations today, the syllabus mainly what? ownership will be changed. In all these three scenarios, you need to adjust the goodwill, right? And A is not a correct answer, B is also not a correct answer, but C and the D are correct answers. So then C and D, so the second one is the correct answer for the question number 14, right? Okay, with that knowledge, we will move into the question number 15 in the same paper. Question number 15 and 16. For the question number 15 and 16, they have given you the common information. Both were tested from the partnerships accounting. We'll read the question. The conditions of the partnerships carried out by Meena and Radha are as follows. Profit and losses share in ratio 3:2 respectively. Meena and Radha, they were sharing the profit and losses 3:2 in a partnership, right? Again, they are having a separate agreement. Meena and Radha are entitled to annual salary of 450 and 350 respectively. Okay. Other information, capital balances and the current account balances they have given Meena and Radha. Credit balance of the current account, not the capital and the current account. Credit balance of the current account they have given. Meena ge Radha ge avurudha mula current account balances thiyena, avurudha aga current account balances thiyena. Right. They are giving the information from 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. Salaries paid, goods drawn during the end in 31st March 2020. They have given Meena and Radha salaries. These are the salaries that you paid. Okay, paid amount. What is the double entry? What is the double entry when you pay the salaries to the partners? What is the double entry when you are paying the salaries to the partners? Cash account credit, partners current account debit. Cash account credit, partners current account debit. Right. Goods drawn, 100,000 and 120,000 Meena and Radha. What is the double entry when the goods are withdrawn? Again, purchases account credit and the partners current account debit. Then annual interest 50,000 payable to Radha for the loan given of a partnership has been credited to her current account. Annual interest 50,000 payable to the loan given has been credited to the partner's current account, Radha's current account. Any amount payable out of the profit of the business. Business again net profit taking given the P&L එකෙන් පුළුවන් appropriation එකෙන් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකෙන් හරි ගෙවද්දී it should be recorded in the partner's current account. It should be credited to the partners. Any entitlement of a partner, from the current year profit should be credited to the partner's current account, right? Okay, the profit of the partnership they want you to calculate. They have asked you to identify the profit of the business, right? What were the informations they have given? It is very clear for you, right? To calculate the profit, right? To calculate the profit, they have given these informations. Closing current account balance and the opening current account balance is also given with regard to the partners. Right. Workings, there are two ways of calculating this. Right. There are two ways of calculating this. I present you both the methods, but I think this particular method is much more easier than the other method, right? So you can choose what method you are supposed to use, right? So you know that we are having three profit equation in your syllabus, right? One is closing equity minus opening equity plus drawings minus additional capital. In a partnership, equity means a capital and the current account. But here, they have not given the capital account balances. Therefore, you can't take the first equation because capital balance has not been given. What is the second equation that you can use when calculating the profit? Second equation is what? Closing retained earnings minus opening retained earnings plus drawings. ඔන්න ඔය concept එක අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන්. Partnership එකක retained earnings represent වෙන්නේ කොහෙන්ද? partner ගේ current account එකෙන්. එහෙනම් take the partner's closing current account balance. පුතා current account closing balance if you read, you can see Meena's open closing balance is 600, Radha's closing balance is 480. They're all together 1,080,000. Opening balances of these two, Meena and Radha, 250 and 200, right? Then it is 450. There was a drawings partner ke current account again debit monada. Salaries 500, Meena to 300, Radha to 200, and the stock drawings 220, right? So altogether, total drawing 720. Not only that here, You can look at the last adjustment. Annual interest of 50 payable to Radha has been credited to the partner's current account. Neither it has been credited to the partner's current account. And now this interest was credited to the partner's current account 50. Got it? And this also leads to increase what? This also leads to increase the partner's current account, but it's not a profit, right? It's not an appropriation. It's not out of the profit earned by the partner. In the business again, net profit taking appropriation එකක් විදියට නෙමෙයි. පැහැදිලිද? ඒකෙන් business එකේ net profit එකේ appropriation එකක් විදියට නෙමෙයි. It comes separately. Got it? එහෙනම් ඒක අපි අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක ඕනගේ මෙතන current account balance එක වැඩි වුණාට ඒක අයින් කරනවා. එහෙනම් පුතා බලන්න මගේ formula එක closing current account balance minus opening current account balance plus drawings minus income from the P&L. Any income earned by the partner from the P&L you have to subtract. එහෙනම් your profit figure will be how much? That is 1,300,000. That is rupees 1,300,000. Was it clear? Right. It's 1,300,000 is a profit. මට මේක මේ විදිහට කැල්කියුලේට් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. පාර්ට්නර් එකේ කරන්ට් එක මම හිතනවා ඔයා මම මේ ෆෝමියුලා මෙතඩ් එක යාලා යූස් කරොත් ඔයාට ටිකක් ලේසි වෙයි කියලා කැල්කියුලේෂන් එක වෙලාව ඉතුරු කරගන්න. right. දැන් කරන්ට් account එකට පරණ පුරුදු විදිහට කරන්ට් account එක හදන්නත් පුළුවන්. Opening current account balances, Meena and Radha they have given. Closing current account balances also they have given. Question says what? Partners are entitled annual salary of 450 and 350. ඊළඟ interest විදිහට හම්බ වෙලා මේ බලන්න මේ එකක්වත් consider කරේ නෑ අපි අතෙන්දී. interest විදිහට හම්බ වෙලා තියෙනවා 50,000. අර interest on loan. ඊළඟ profit share එක අපිට හොයා ගන්න වෙනවා මේ business එකේ. current account balances record කරලා salary paid අපි මේක record කරා. salary paid and the drawings has to be debited. එතකොට පුතා balancing figure will be the profit share. Balancing figure will be the profit share that you will have to find. So once you calculate the profit share, so you can take all the payable, right? All the appropriation, total of the appropriations is equal to the profit that you distribute. එහෙනම් පුතා යාගේ profit එක කීයද? It's 1 million. Business එකේ profit එක 1,300,000. එහෙනම් මෙතන profit එක calculate කරේ කොහොමද? How did you calculate the profit? What is the formula you wrote here when calculating the profit? What? Interest on capital. Sorry, salaries. No interest on capital here. Salaries plus profit share. Again, appropriation wala ekatuwa is equal to profit. More the profit only you appropriate. So then when you add the total of the appropriation, so that will be equal to the profit of the business. So then we have discussed two methods in calculating the profit. You can decide what method is easier for you, right? Okay, that is all about the question number 15. We'll move to the next question, question number 16, right? The profit of the partnership for the year ended we calculated. Yes, the correct answer will be the fourth one, right? It's 1,300,000. Second one, profit appropriated to Radha for the current year, right? They have given. So the profit of Radha we can calculate it in this way. Radha has received a salary of 350, you can see, and the profit share is 200. Then our profit එක මේ equation එක use කරලා calculate කරා නම් profit share එක ඔයාලට හොයා ගන්න වෙනවා, right? දැන් මේක අපි දෙක methods දෙකටම හදලා තියෙන නිසා අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. එහෙනම් පුතා Radha's profit share is how much? He get a salary of 350. Profit එකෙන් එයාගේ share එක. Salary එක profit of Radha, right? The total profit earned by the partner. 350, profit share 200. So total the total earnings of the partner, right? Total earnings of the partner they have given as how much? Rupees 550,000, right? The profit appropriate, right? It's 550,000. Profit appropriate rupees 550,000. So then, if you move into the question, correct answer will be yes. Again, fourth one is the correct answer, right? Okay. Shall we move to the question number 17? Which of the following statement is correct in relation to the LKA 16? LKA 16 is a property, plant and equipment, right? Depreciation amount for the period should always be debited to the P&L. It's a good question. This is another very good question, right? The item of property, plant and equipment should be measured at cost and initial recognition. Okay. Surplus resulting on the revaluations of an asset in the year should be recognized in the other comprehensive income in the absence of previous revaluation deficit at the same assets. Yes, they want you to identify the correct answer. So what are the correct statement with regard to this? First one, if you look at the first one, depreciations amount should always be recognized in the P&L. Is it correct? Depreciation is an expenditure. Obviously, it's true. But can you debit the amount of depreciation directly to the P&L? No. Standard. How does the standard says? Depreciations will be charged to the P&L unless it is included the carrying amount of another assets. When an asset carrying amount included in it goes to the P&L. That is wrong there. Some of the depreciation, machinery depreciations, we included in the cost of the closing stock under the cost of conversion, machinery depreciations, right? You can't say it goes to the P&L always, right? It goes to the P&L, right? Neither. Cost of the closing stock. What are the three elements of the cost of inventory? Cost of purchases, cost of conversion, other costs. Other cost of conversion include the machinery depreciation. It doesn't include in the P&L, right? Therefore, the first statement is not correct, right? Second one, item of property, plant and equipment should be measured at cost in the initial recognitions. Yes, in the initial recognitions, you have no option. Soon after you purchase it, whatever the amount you paid doesn't matter. It has to be recorded at cost. Subsequently, you can record at what? Cost or revalued amount. But that you can apply. Revaluation model you can apply only in the subsequent recognition. In the initial recognition, you will have to follow the cost model. You will have to follow the cost model. Second one. Third one. Surplus of a resulting on revaluations of an asset in a current year. Okay. Current year you revalued and generated a surplus. Should be recognized in the other comprehensive income. Okay, fine. In the absence of previous year revaluation deficit the same year. Yes. If there's no any deficit in the previous year from the same assets, that particular appreciation you can credit it to the other comprehensive income. If there was a revaluation, the deficit in the previous year, then it has to be credited to the profit and loss account. But this particular thing is correct, that you can recognize as an other comprehensive income, right? So then the correct answer is which one? Correct answer is the fourth one is the correct answer. B and C only. That's the correct answer, right? B and C only. Question number 18. Question number 18. The financial statements of Ajit PLC for the year ending 31st March 2020 were authorized for the issue by the directors on 15 June 2020, events after the reporting period. The following authorized for issue on 15th. What is the events? What is the period to the 31st March 2020 to 15th June 2020. Following transactions that had been take place in the company during that period. Period obviously they are giving all the transactions during that period. That is very important, right? The machine with a carrying amount of 5 million as at 31st March 2020 was completely destroyed due to a fire on 15th April 2020, right? Okay. Then does this provide the evidence of the condition existed on the balance sheet date or what? It's provide what? The evidence of the condition existed on the balance sheet date, or it's a condition arose after the reporting period, or it's a condition arose after the reporting period. That you will have to judge, right? If it's by the evidence of the condition, so then you need to adjust. If it's indicative of the conditions arose after the reporting period, you don't want to adjust it, right? Okay. Second one. The debtor balance who owed 800,000 as at 31st March 2020 was declared bankruptcy by the court on 10th May 2020. So the debtor balance declared the bankruptcy. Okay, right? The standard bankruptcy of a debtor usually confirm that the loss existed on the balance sheet date. The standard public issue 10 million shares were made on 10 June. Okay, that was a share issue. They want you to identify what are the adjusting events in the question, right? The non-adjusting, if you look at the paper, then that particular part has not been typed here, but you have the original paper with you, I hope. They want you to identify the non-adjusting event in this question, right? What does it say? A machine with a carrying amount of 5 million was completely destroyed. It's an indicative of the conditions arose after the reporting period. On the balance sheet date, the asset was there properly, right? And later on, some event has taken place as a result. This particular event provide the evidence of the condition arose after the reporting period. This condition wasn't existed on the balance sheet date, right? Therefore, it's not an adjustment. It's an indication of the conditions arose after the reporting period. Have I? They only a non-adjusting event. Yes, it's fine. What is next? Then it says the debtor balance who owed 800,000 as at 31st March 2020 was declared the bankruptcy by the court. Bankruptcy declared on 10th May, right? So then, the standard the bankruptcy of a debtor usually, not always, but usually confirm that loss exceeded at the balance sheet date. So subsequently, when the court gives you the order that provide the evidence of the condition not existed on the balance sheet date, then obviously it's an adjusting event. About the public share issue, do we need to adjust it? No, this was done after the balance sheet period. So on the balance sheet, after the end of the balance sheet, but on the balance sheet date, there was no any share issue take place. So then that also you should not adjust. So then what are the events that you should adjust? Only B, but adjust non-adjusting events only they asking, that is A and C. So then A and C means the question is, the correct answer is question number 3, right? That is all about the question number 18. We'll move to the question number 19. Which the following item should be classified as if you properly analyze this paper, you can see there are lots of questions that has been tested from this area. I'll put a separate video which shows the content of the paper, right? Paper ke content එක මම වෙනම video එකකින් ඔයාලට දාන්නම් මේ YouTube එකට ඔයාලට බලන්න වාගේ මේ අපේ class site එකකට මම දාන්නම් බලන්න. It's lots of questions from the accounting standards. This is also another question from that. So then you can expect more questions from the accounting standard in your examination as well. Okay, first start. Cash receipts for the dividend on the ordinary shares purchases for another entity. Cash receipt for the dividend for the ordinary shares on the ordinary shares purchased from another company. This you have received from the investing activity. Next, cash paid to purchase the debentures of another entity. You paid to purchase some amount. So that is also what? Investing activity, right? Debenture. You invest in the debentures, you invest in the ordinary share capital of another company. Cash paid to settle the lease liability. This is a finance, right? They want you to identify what's the requirement of the question. To identify the financing activity, right? Which of the following should be classified as a cash flow arising from the financing activity? A is what? Received cash for dividends on the shares purchase of another company. Invested in another company, you did investments on that. If you are receiving the amount, so then that can be identified as investing. If you need, you can record it under operating also, but not the financing. Right? Financing. Next one, cash paid to purchase the debentures of another company. Apay company eke debenture issue karana, it's a way of financing. But this is a way of investing. Make investing, you invest in another company. The investing activity. See, hurry carefully, you have to read the question. Cash paid to settle the lease liability. Then there was a settlement of a liability. Then the only C is the financing activity of the business, right? So then the correct answer will be the second one at question number 20. Okay. Sumudu PLC purchased a machine on 1st Jan 2020 for rupees 2.5 million to use in the manufacturing activity. They are giving the cost related to a machine, and you have already paid 2.5 million. Site preparation cost 200,000, installation cost 350. Annual premium for the fire insurance 275, cost of initial test 250. The net proceed from the sale of the item proceeds in the test run 50,000. What is the cost of the machine at the initial recognition? Standard question paper property, plant and equipment should be initially recognized at cost. Then to calculate the cost, right? Okay. We'll see how we're going to calculate the cost of this particular thing. Cost of purchase is 2.5 million. We have to definitely taken, right? And site preparation cost you should take. Installation charges also you need to take. Test run also you need to take. And the sale proceed of the test run reduces what? Cost of the property, plant and equipment. Matlab standard එක කියනවා. හැබැයි මේකේ an annual insurance cost do we take? Look at this calculation, right? Look at these calculations. Then, if you move to the calculation, cost of purchases 2.5 million should be taken because it's a part of the cost of inventory. Cost of property, plant and equipment. Site preparation cost of 200 also should be taken. Installation charges 350 also should be taken. Test run 250 also should be taken, and the sale profit of the test run must be deducted. And the question says, what? Annual insurance for the fire, insurance premium for the fire insurance? No, you won't take. Capital expenses has a reoccurrence nature. Capital expense never tendency. If there's a reoccurrent tendency that you do not identify it as a capital expenditure, obviously it's a revenue expenditure. Therefore, that you won't take. If sale proceed from the test run lead to reduces what? Your cost of the property, plant and equipment. So then the correct answer will be 3.250,000. So correct answer will be rupees 3.250,000. Second one is the correct answer. Okay. So with that, we can conclude the 20th questions of this paper. In our first video, we have talked about all the first 10 questions. And now in this video, we have talked about the next 10 question, which is from question number 11 to question number 20. Question number 11 to question number 20, right? Meet up with another video. There we talks about the balance past paper question, balance question from the same paper. That is from question number 21 to 30, and then 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. So likewise, we'll talks about entire 2020 LL paper. I think it will be very, very useful for you before you go to the exam, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Meet up with another session.